The night Jacob met God face to face. The night was still as Jacob stood alone by the Jabbok River, his family and possessions sent ahead. Genesis 32:22-23. He was a man burdened by his past, a deceiver who had stolen his brother Esau's birthright and blessing. Now as he prepared to meet Esau after years apart, fear gripped his heart. Would Esau's anger have cooled, or would this reunion end in bloodshed? Left alone with his thoughts, Jacob prayed fervently, asking God to deliver him from Esau's wrath. Genesis 32:11. Yet even as he prayed, doubt lingered. Could he truly be the man God had promised to bless if his past still haunted him? Out of the darkness a figure appeared, and without warning, the two became locked in a fierce struggle. There were no words, only the sound of their bodies crashing against the earth. Jacob's mind raced. Who was this? An enemy sent to destroy him? A divine messenger? Hours passed and Jacob's strength began to wane. Yet he refused to let go, driven by something deeper than survival. The fight was not merely physical, it was spiritual. Jacob was wrestling not just with the stranger, but with his own fears, guilt, and identity. As dawn approached, the stranger reached out and touched Jacob's hip, dislocating it with a single movement. Genesis 32:25. Pain surged through Jacob's body, but still he clung tightly. The stranger said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob, in desperation and determination, replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Genesis 32:26. At that moment the stranger asked, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. His name meant heel-grabber or deceiver, a title that had defined his life. Yet in speaking it, Jacob acknowledged the truth of who he had been. The stranger then said, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men, and have prevailed." Genesis 32:28. Jacob's heart must have leapt. He realized he had been wrestling with God himself, a humbling and awe-inspiring revelation. In that instant, Jacob received a new identity. No longer would he be defined by his deceitful past. As Israel, he was now a man marked by perseverance and a direct encounter with the divine. As the sun rose, Jacob limped away from the encounter, his hip permanently injured, a reminder of the night he wrestled with God, Genesis 32:31. But he was forever changed. The limp was not a mark of weakness, but a testimony to his transformation. When Jacob met Esau later that day, he bowed humbly, but to his astonishment, Esau embraced him with tears. Genesis 33:4. The grace Jacob received from his brother mirrored the grace he had experienced during his encounter with God. This story remains a powerful testament to the transformative power of wrestling with God. It reminds us that struggles, whether with our past, fears, or identity, can become sacred moments where God reshapes us. Like Jacob, we may walk away with a limp, but we also walk away blessed, renewed, and forever changed. Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered." Genesis 32:30. His story invites us to trust God through our own struggles, knowing that his blessings often come through the wrestlings of our soul. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.